the entire idea of azadi and uh, love and love for oneself and one's country, what it means to have freedom, the agency to choose, especially that is one of the major traits of a courtesan in that time, because many people
Yes,
confuse courtesans with the sex workers, which is not what it used to
absolutely.
be.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that is one of my favorite parts, Bibbojaan, because her beauty is not just skin deep. It's not just about how great she looks dressed in some fabulous clothes and jewelry, and how wonderfully she sings and dances, but it's also about her character, the strength of her character. And she is clear from the outset of somebody who started watching Heeramandi that her goal is very clear. It's freedom. So please tell me about being Bibbojaan for Heeramandi.
First of all, thank you. The thing is, when you when you start something like this, and especially when you're working with somebody like Sanjay sir, who thinks in that much detail, you know, and he is usually, people talk about the grandeur and all of that, but I always feel like, as an actor and listening to him, there's so much depth, there's so many layers, there's so much sort of, you know there's an expansion of your brain that happens, working with him, because of the places he takes you to. And when that is noticed, and when that is it really feels amazing. And for me, Bibbojaan, like, just the fact that Sanjay sir gave that life to me to play and made her life a part of mine, is incredible. Because when you're playing it, as I come on set, I surrender, I'm listening, I'm absorbing. But it's in hindsight, when you start doing interviews and you actually start thinking about what it is, that all the beats, for, and you actually start verbalizing it, that's when you actually realize, what an incredible journey a girl like that would have had at that time. And as you rightly said, yes, she's artistic, yes, she's kind, sweet, vulnerable, all of that, but what is it that makes her so special is her fearlessness, is the fact that she takes destiny on, is the fact that her vulnerability makes her fearless and her fearlessness makes her vulnerable, you know and that, that thing, that juxtaposition, and that thing that goes, that is always there in anything that she does through the show, is what is amazing. Because it's not common to get paths which are heroic, you know and heroic very, like, and the way that Sanjay, and again, like as you rightly said, it's not just physical, it's just the grace of her heart and her soul. And I find that very beautiful, because I feel like हम लड़कियों का इतना one tone हो जाता है quite often. Our characters can become one tone as heroines, or as I mean, just generally in life also. People are like, oh, she's very sweet. Are we are beyond that also. No, there's so many layers to us. Um, so I feel like somewhere Sanjay sir himself, his the value that he has for women, how he looks at women and how he looks at them as complete human beings, that really comes into uh, a lot of his heroines, and especially in Bibbojaan. So I love that she was fire and grace, and that at every point you see her pure intention, but you also see that fire inside of her, which makes her do, like, I mean, what she does. No spoilers, even now, but I love it. I mean, I think it's amazing, and it stems from the director writer's uh, uh, heart and brain 100%. But for me to have gotten to do it and to live it was, like, I'm so grateful for it. Loved it. I love that girl. I'm saying that girl, I mean, but you know what I mean.
We know that courtesans or tawayas, as we say, actually did play an important role. So the show is actually part history and part fiction and creation of Mr. Bhansali. So
Yeah.
any one line brief that Sir gave to you for references that how what to model Biboja on? any real life references that you followed?
Actually, he didn't give me any references per se. Um, he would speak to me. Basically, the thing is, he would tease me because he would say, अभी अदिति में श्रृंगार रस इतना भरा हुआ है कि वो सब कुछ लव सीन जैसे करती है और उसका वी नीड टू टेक द फायर आउट ऑफ हर और उसको मैं गुस्सा कैसे मत दिलाऊं, ये गुस्सा ही नहीं होती लड़की. सो आई वाज लाइक नहीं नहीं मैं होती हूँ. सो सेड दिखाओ. So anyway, so that he used to tease me, and then I remember one of the first scenes that I did, which required that kind of fire and that passion, and the agency, was the Guildhall scene, where I'm speaking to all the women and I'm telling them कि बस एक बार मुजरे वाली नहीं मुल्क वाली बनकर सोचिए. And that scene we did about 2-3 takes, and contrary to popular belief and the legends around Sanjay sir, he just very sweetly he said, "Come." And he just took me aside and he told everybody to leave. And he said, just give me some time with her. And for about 10 minutes, he just spoke to me. He spoke to me because, all of us, we've only grown up theoretically understanding the freedom movement, even if we read, but Sanjay sir is also a very passionate person. He speaks from here. For 5-10 minutes, he just spoke to me. He spoke to me about what it must have been, about how these people were real heroes and how they gave up like everything, and how focused they were and what it takes to be that person, and we don't even understand it. And so he did that, and I remember like the tears were here, but I also felt very like my heart was racing. And I said, "Sir, can I go and shoot? Can I go and shoot?" I said, "I'm ready, sir. I'm ready, sir. Can I go and shoot?" And he said, "See, I'm going to give everybody a lunch break." I said, "No, please." He said, "Okay, we'll make a pact. You just go and think about what I said. Khana mat khana." I said, "Okay." And I came back and we did it and we got the take. And I feel like that, that really, really put me into a zone. I mean, that was the beginning of my understanding of that life of hers, because I started with the whole other scene and then we gradually moved into that life, and he very, very like amazingly took me there, and he took me there just by speaking to me, and I mean, I'm so grateful to how he did it, and I'm so grateful for what I heard of him, because I was just sometimes I would just be transfixed. So there were no real references per se, though having said that, my mother has done a lot of research on Tawayefs and Tumri, and she also sings Tumri, and so I've heard stories as a child, but आपको पता है ना आपके माहौल में जो like as a child when you're surrounded by a lot of artists around, you little bit take it for granted and you don't quite take it seriously, but आपके वो जहन में कहीं तो घुस जाता है dance music and all of this. But this part of it was something that Sanjay sir really, really, it was just listening to him, I would say. No references. I just listened to him.
Also, I've seen, I mean, you have a considerably varied amount of filmography. It ranges from down south to here up north also. But what I've noticed is that, you have somewhat, come on your own when it comes to period dramas. Be it Padmaavat, Jubilee. I loved Sumitra Jubilee last year. Jubilee is one of my favorite all-time shows.
Thank you.
And Taj also you were there, and now this is Heeramandi. And upcoming for you is also Lioness, which is set in the Victorian era, if I'm not wrong. And I also checked out your Instagram, and you shared someone's post last night who called you the face, officially the face of period dramas. What is it? Your connection with starring in so many period dramas, and officially or unofficially becoming the face of it, and so rightly so.
I mean, considering that, I want to show you what I'm wearing, my Patawa jeans and a t-shirt. I'm just lucky that I get to be the face of these exquisite period dramas. For some reason, people and directors and all feel that it works and I belong, and I also feel very comfortable somewhere. Maybe it's my own love for music, dance, history, culture, and period dramas, of course, take you into what is truly Indian, you know. Even in Heeramandi, that whole sort of Indian art, aesthetic, dance, music, all of that. And I really enjoy it. Maybe I've grown up around it. Maybe it, like I said, you know, I don't realize what impact it's had on me, but it must have obviously had an impact on me, right? So it is something somewhere I feel very comfortable. Having said that, my contemporary life is very important to me. So when I do play contemporary parts, I enjoy it because there's a kind of like in the south I've done some work like that. I enjoy being a brat and like, you know, fool, like whatever, like including fooling around on camera, like, you know, for the role, because I'm it's, you know, it's a rom-com or whatever it is. I enjoy that too, but I'm not pushing away what I love, and I'm not pushing away what people love about me, and possibly what directors are seeing in me. Today, I'm saying I own it. I love it. I own it. I enjoy it, and I'm lucky to be in that place because, especially with period, it you can want to do it, but you need to organically belong there, and people need to feel that you belong there. Otherwise, you just seem like it just seems off, and if people won't go into that suspension of disbelief, you know. So whatever it is, I'm very grateful for it. Having said that, the actor in me of course wants to mix it up and be versatile and be contemporary too, and sometimes just do something very light and whatever, you know, fun, and like keep it all like not every time to do these intense love stories and all. But I like it. I love it. I love that I get it. It's, I'm just saying I like to play with it. That's all. But I'm owning it. I'm owning it. I'm loving it, and it's all good. You're frozen.
Radhika, are you there? Radhika? So sorry, Aditi, I'll just call her up. The screen has.
Yeah.
I think something happened.
Radhika,
हाँ जी, आपका freeze हो गया. अभी आपका video हो गया.
अच्छा, मेरे को छोड़ो, आप बोलो प्लीज. लेट मी बी,
ठीक है.
मतलब मेरी जरूरत नहीं, यू
हाँ.
प्लीज गो ऑन.
No, I finished. I'm just saying, like, I love it. I own it. I'm very happy to be in that place. And whenever I can, I'm very happy to do the contemporary fun stuff too. But
Okay.
yeah, I love
Any
period vibe.
any specific genre that you feel that you have not yet tapped into that you would love to take up next?
You know, I've always wanted to do like a Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon type thing, you know, where there's action, but it's very like poetic action. See, again, that has come into it. Like, even when it's action, I'm saying I want it to be poetic action. But I guess that's just me. That's fine. Then I want to do a Gone Girl kind of thing. I'm dying to do that. Having said that, again, because I get a lot of love stories, I own it. I love that place. I love doing love stories because each love story is different, each narrative is different, each girl is different. But yeah, I am dying to do like a fabulous, like a mystery thriller, Gone Girl, Crouching Tiger type. So many.
Okay, couple of questions and then I think you can advance to another interview. You must have so many lined up. So, we know what happens with
I
Bibbojaan
have to say, I'm
towards the
enjoying talking
end.
to you. Thank you. You're so
Oh,
perceptive
lovely.
and yeah, thank you.
I binged Heeramandi, by the way. I was like, I have to sleep now, so I saved the finale for the other day. I was like, chal theek hai, I'll wake up early next morning and
You know,
then
I think
I'll
we are
end
all
with
asking
the
people this. Are you watching it bit by bit or are you
So
binging it? And
we know what
everybody,
happens. Yeah, because it's into a whole loop, no? So you want to be like, okay, what's happening next? There is this sort of a cliffhangery thing to it. And even for that matter, if I may say, the finale also ends on this with this voiceover and with your character not being there anymore. Um, for somebody who must have also watched the whole season, And there are murmurs. Even when you were here in Delhi for the trailer launch, there were questions about, will we be getting a second season? And Monica didn't really answer the question, and it's not up to you all to answer. Obviously, I know you will not say anything, but as somebody who has starred in the first season per se of the show, who has loved what it is, enjoyed the process, as a fan of the show, what would you like to see in Heeramandi 2 if there is a potential season?
I don't even know if I'm allowed to answer this question, but 100% I would love to see a season 2. And this is a really, really good question because there is also a historical narrative, and it might be oral history, but it is there. And it is a very interesting narrative because these were artists, as you very rightly said. It was not what people think courtesans were. They were artistic, they had power, they were knowledgeable, they were poets, they were incredible women. And so I believe that their narrative led them to become artists of different kinds in as time went on. And of course there is also the fact that the areas that they lived in and what their lives became, what became of the women who could not leave from there or could not change, sort of alter their lives into a different form of artistry. I mean, I'm trying to keep it as not specific as possible, but you know what I'm saying, because I don't want to offend anybody, honestly. So I'm trying to be a little careful about this because it's a very touchy subject. So yeah, so I feel like all that, and I know that Sanjay sir knows so much about India's artists, different kinds of artists, and also he has so much empathy and love for this world, So I think, and I find it very interesting that regardless of where a woman is contextually and who she is and what she does for a living and etc., 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 he treats them with so much dignity. He treats them like queens, So he gives dignity to their stories and he gives them agency. So I'm very, very I can only imagine how it would be and how interesting it would be. As the end of whatever the end of the season said, like I'm just saying it from there, I don't know.
Okay, about just this last bit. Not everybody liked Heeramandi as much as I did and you did. There is a section of people on social media who are trying to find historical inaccuracies and about the language. There is this stuff going on. Then you're trying to find, is all this is this noise to you? Do you pay attention to criticism of this sorts? Because I'm not about the show it's in entirety, but your role has been received with a lot of
love. Yeah. So I'll tell you, this is a very, very good question because it is true that we all deal with this when work of ours releases. And yes, I am lucky. Some of us are lucky that we've gotten like continuous and constant praise. And I think Sanjay sir has also been he's being celebrated, and I'm very happy. I love Sanjay sir. So and my co-stars. But yes, I'm very grateful for the praise for Bibbojaan. Having said that, there are all these as you rightly called it, noise. One is my own personality type. When there is noise, I'll find music in the noise. I don't concentrate on the noise because the noise is made by noisy people. Why do I want noisy people in my life? I don't want them. I want nice, happy, musical people in my life. Secondly, the people who actually have something valuable to say, even in terms of criticism, I will listen to them. But that person must be of value to me. So what they are saying must have value and must have, they must come with their own sense of knowledge and understanding that they are making these observations. A lot of people who are making noise, it's just that I'm saying they have an opinion. I'm saying your opinion is coming from where? do you have a lot of knowledge on filmmaking? Do you have a lot of knowledge on this subject? Do you have a lot of knowledge on art? Do you have you are entitled to your opinion, but I'm just saying, don't be nasty. Give your opinion in a way that is received by people, rather than trying to put down people and being nasty to people. That is never, I don't find that graceful at all. Then a lot of the things that I'm hearing as criticism, I'm just like, here is a filmmaker who is legendary. We should love the man. He is precious to us and our cinema. He has a voice, he has a world, he is creating something that has never been seen by the world. The world is celebrating it. What is our problem? I don't understand. You want to keep doing needling and finding fault. I'm like, why can't you celebrate and enjoy that has been made with so much love, something that has been made with so much love? And like recently I saw something, the girls are not lip syncing properly. For me, something they said, she if she's a singer, why isn't she lip syncing? I'm like, 1 second, let me tell you that Thumri is about bhav. And even the dancing, it's not the dancing that you see today, that very tayyar dancing, because at that time they didn't dance like that. Their dancing had a lot of nazakat. It was more it was a art form of music and dance together. And when you sing, people have a stereotypical notion of classical music, कैसे गाते हैं, सब मुंह ऐसा ऐसा करके और मुंह बना के, या अपनी बॉलीवुड की जो लिप सिंकिंग होती है वो इट्स अ पर्टिकुलर काइंड. जब आप ठुमरी गा रहे होते हैं और जब आप भाव कर रहे होते हैं, आप अपना, you don't use this part like that. It's very very delicately used, because this is where it's happening. This is my matlab, whatever I've understood. And so little things like that. Then Urdu mein problem hai. I'm saying these people are from so many different places. This is Hindustani, it is it's this Urdu, it's not that Urdu. I mean, come on. Now this is not a historical, it's a film. It's a film about these 6 women and this whole world. It is Sanjay sir's, like blood, sweat, tears, love that's gone into it. And I'm not defending. I'm saying, why can't we celebrate? Why can't we be more expansive? Why can't we be more like, why can't our hearts be bigger? Why can't we just celebrate? Why can't we celebrate art? Like, there is different kinds of art. There's different kinds of cinema. There are different kinds of directors. There are different kinds of actors. See the intention and just flow, na? Enjoy it. आपको कोई कहानी बता रहा है, आप सुन लो ना, please.
On that lovely note, I think this is it from my end, and such a fun time chatting with you. And yes, Bibbojaan is one of my favorite characters.
Thank you. Thank you. I love you. Thank you.
And all the best for Gandhi Talks, for Lioness, and if something else is also coming up for you.
Let's see.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye bye. Thanks.
Thanks, Radhika.